Why your enemies are your most sacred fuel. Forget everything you've been told about your enemies. They're not your problem, they're your power source. We've been sold a dangerous lie, a comforting, seductive lie whispered in self-help seminars and plastered on inspirational posters. That peace comes from dissolving conflict, that success blooms in the absence of friction, that the ultimate spiritual goal is to love your enemies. It's spiritual pacification not for this world. It ignores the raw, uncomfortable, essential truth pulsing at the heart of human greatness. True strength isn't forged in the gentle warmth of approval. It's tempered in the white-hot fury of opposition. Your enemies, the critic, the rival, the betrayer, are not accidental obstacles on your path. They are the anvil chosen by fate for your transformation. They are the brutal, unasked for, yet utterly sacred fuel igniting the furnace of your potential. Prepare to have your comfortable notions shattered. This is not about forgiveness. This is about harnessing the dark energy of hatred to forge an unbreakable will. Stop running from your enemies. Start studying them. They hold the key to your becoming, your door to glory, and they have a seat at the round table. Number 1. The delusion of universal love and the power of the antagonist. Forget the saccharine platitudes. Forget the hollow chants of love your enemies, echoing from pulpits and self-help bestsellers promising effortless bliss and success on the silver platter. They peddle a dangerous narcotic, a spiritual pacifier designed to blunt the sharpest edge of your being. The truth, the controversial, galvanizing truth, is this: your enemies are not obstacles to your peace. They are the anvil upon which your destiny is hammered. They are the sacred fire you didn't choose, but which you desperately need. Conventional wisdom tells us to transcend conflict, to seek harmony at all costs. It whispers of forgiveness as an end in itself, often demanding premature surrender. This is the language of the domesticated, the comfortable, the unambitious. It ignores the fundamental law of existence. True growth requires resistance. A seed doesn't become a towering oak in a vacuum. It battles gravity, weather, competing roots. Our spirits are no different, so are our success. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Aurelius, the Stoic emperor perpetually surrounded by schemers and rivals, understood. His strength wasn't found in wishing his enemies away or pretending they didn't sting. It was forged in the recognition of their existence and the deliberate choice to harness the friction they created. Your enemy, the critic who deprives your work, the rival who undermines your ambition, the betrayer who shattered your trust, forces a confrontation you might otherwise avoid. They rip away the comforting veil of illusion. They scream, in the most brutal terms, "You are not enough." Yet, this is not an insult. It is the starting pistol. Number 2. The shadow in the mirror and the transformation of hatred. Your greatest enemy is rarely a random villain without a mask. Often, they are a terrifyingly precise reflection of your own buried shadow, the parts of yourself you disown, fear, or refuse to acknowledge. The rival obsessed with status mirrors your own unspoken ambition. The critic who tears down your ideas exposes your own hidden insecurities about their validity. The betrayer reflects your own capacity for ruthlessness, perhaps dormant, perhaps unrecognized. Your enemy holds up a cracked, distorted, but undeniably truthful mirror. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. Carl Jung. Jung's concept of the shadow is crucial here. We project our own unacceptable qualities onto others, creating external enemies who embody what we deny within ourselves. Recognizing this is profoundly uncomfortable, even offensive. It suggests complicity, yet this is the transforming furnace. When you stop merely reacting to your enemy with blind rage or fear, and instead ask, what part of me does this person trigger? What hidden aspect of myself am I seeing in their venom? You initiate a transformation. The hatred doesn't vanish. It changes state. It becomes fuel for ruthless self-inquiry. The energy previously wasted on resentment is redirected inward, illuminating your own weaknesses, hypocrisies, and untapped potential. The enemy becomes your unsuspected therapist, your most brutal, and therefore most effective personal trainer. Number 3, the strategic furnace and weaponizing resentment. This isn't about passive acceptance or masochism, the tendency to derive sexual gratification from one's own pain. It's about ruthless, strategic utilization. Sun Tzu, the master strategist, didn't advocate loving his enemies. He advocated understanding them better than they understood themselves. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Your enemy is a living intelligence report. Study them. Their attacks reveal your vulnerabilities, the chinks in your armor you were blind to. Their tactics expose their own fears and limitations. Study them. Analyze their moves with cold detachment. What are they really afraid of? What weakness in you are they exploiting? What weakness in themselves does their aggression betray? This intelligence is pure gold. It allows you to fortify your defenses, anticipate their moves, and strike where they are weakest. Let their malice become your map, their ignorance become your weapon, and their weakness become your strength. Resentment, often seen as a toxic emotion, can be weaponized into relentless drive. Channel that burning sense of injustice, that fury at being wronged, into cold, focused energy. Let it be the extra hour spent honing your craft while they sleep. Let it be the determination to build something so magnificent that their attempts to sabotage you look pathetic. Let it fuel the iron discipline required for excellence. Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher of will and overcoming, saw this clearly, and he said, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." Friedrich Nietzsche. This isn't mere survival. It's thriving through adversity. The enemy's attempt to break you becomes the very pressure that forges unbreakable resolve. Their lies force you to clarify your truth. Their opposition forces you to sharpen your arguments and strengthen your foundations. They become the grit in your oyster, and your focused response is the pearl. Number 4, transcendence through the crucible and the ultimate victory. The ultimate victory over an enemy is not necessarily their destruction, though sometimes it is necessary, nor is it the hollow performance of forgiveness demanded by societal norms. The ultimate, most controversial victory is your own radical, undeniable evolution. It is emerging from the crucible of conflict not merely unscathed, but transformed, hardened, clarified, and infinitely more potent than before they targeted you. Think of the political prisoner whose spirit remains unbroken, whose resolve is steeled by oppression. Think of the artist whose rejected work fuels a masterpiece born of defiance. Think of the entrepreneur bankrupted by a rival who rebuilds an empire out of sheer, focused will. Their enemies didn't make them happy, they made them powerful. They forced a depth of character, resilience, and cunning that comfort could never instill. The line separating good and evil passes not through states, nor between classes, nor between political parties either, but right through every human heart. Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who endured the Soviet Gulag, speaks the darkest, most essential truth. Recognizing the capacity for darkness within ourselves, illuminated by the mirror of our enemy, prevents us from becoming the very monsters we fight. It tempers our vengeance with wisdom, our strength with humility. We fight not to become them, but to transcend the battlefield they forced upon us. Therefore, do not seek to banish your enemies. Do not rush to forgive their trespasses before you have fully mined the ore of fury and insight they have delivered to your doorstep. Honor their role, however vile. Study them as the dark masters of your resistance training. Channel their venom into your veins as pure, undiluted motivation. Let their opposition define the contours of your ambition. Forge your character, your strategy, and your indomitable will in the white-hot furnace of their animosity. Your enemy is not your curse. They are your most brutal, most necessary, most sacred catalyst. Embrace the friction, master the hatred, transcend the conflict, become the force they unwittingly unleashed. That is the controversial, uncomfortable, and profoundly empowering truth of the forge. Now, pick up your hammer and hit where it hurt the most. So, cast aside the hollow platitudes urging premature forgiveness and forced harmony. The ultimate victory over your enemy is not their annihilation, nor a performative absolution that dulls your edge. It is the undeniable, magnificent edifice of your own evolution, built brick by bloody brick with the materials their opposition provided. They held up the mirror, forcing you to confront your shadow. They became the grit that polished your pearl of resolve. They were the friction that ignited your furnace of fury, channeled into unstoppable drive. They were your unwitting strategist, revealing your weaknesses and their own. Honor the forge. Thank your enemies not with words, but with the relentless pursuit of the greatness they unleashed within you. Let their animosity be the relentless wind at your back, propelling you beyond the horizons of the comfortable and the complacent. Do not seek to banish them. Become the indomitable force their hostility demanded you create. The battlefield they chose is now your proving ground. Step onto it, hammer in hand, forged anew. Your enemy was never your curse. They were your most brutal, most necessary catalyst. Now, go build your empire from the ashes of their resistance.